Welcome to Cloud Infrastructure Services YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to go over the complete list of Active Directory ports and explain what they do. So let's get started with what is Active Directory. Well, Active Directory is a combination of services and databases that connect end users with the network resources needed to get the job done. It is as simple as that. Now, the database, also called the directory, contains essential information about the network ecosystem, including the details about the users and computers and their respective system rights. Now, this whole as a collection makes up an Active Directory. After that, let's talk about what are Active Directory ports. So, Active Directory correspondence involves a lot of ports, and someone working as a system administrator would know about a few of them. Now, enterprises need Active Directory for workstation and server management, group policy management and authentication, and all of this is done with the help of ports. So now let's talk about the Active Directory ports. So you can see in the table that we have the application protocol, then the protocol that it is going to support, and the port number. So starting off, we have the Active Directory Web Services, and the protocol is TCP, and it takes the port number 9389. Similarly, we have the Active Directory Management Gateway Service, which takes the same protocol and the same port number 9389. Other than that, we have the Global Catalog running on the TCP protocol with the port number 3269. And then we have the Global Protocol again, this time around running on the port number 3268. And then we have an Application Protocol ICMP, which does not contain or have a specific port number. Anyways, next up we have the LDAP server running on the TCP protocol utilizing the port number 389, and the LDAP server on the UDP protocol utilizes the same port number, which is 389. After that, we have the SSL application protocol, or the Lightweight Directory Access Protocol server running on the TCP protocol utilizing the port number 636. After that, we have IPsec on UDP protocol with the port number 500, and then we have NAT-T UDP protocol and the port number is 4500, RPC running on the TCP protocol and the port number is 135. And if the RPC randomly allocated high TCP ports, then it would mean that it is going to utilize anywhere from the port number 1024 to port number 5000. And we have another range for 49,152 port number to 65,535 port number. And for the SMB application protocol running on the TCP, it would take the port number 445. Now after these ports, we have some Active Directory ports client to domain controllers. So you can see on the screen that the UDP port number 88 is used for Kerberos authentication, the UDP and TCP port 135 for the client to domain controller operations and domain controller to domain controller operations, whereas the TCP port 139 and the UDP port 138 are used for file replication services between the domain controllers. Then we have the UDP port 389 for LDAP to handle regular queries from the client computers to domain controllers. After that, we have the TCP and UDP port 445 for file replication services as well, and the port 464 for Kerberos password change. Now if you want to talk about the global catalog from client to domain controller, for that we have the TCP port 3268 and the 3269 port number. And lastly, the TCP and UDP port 53 is used for DNS from domain controller to domain controller and client to the domain controller. After that, we have the ports protocols required for checking Active Directory, group policy and exchange. So we have the port number 89 with the protocol TCP, and the target being the domain controller is used for the LDAP common queries. The port number 3268 is used for the LDAP, group membership and GC search. Port number 3269 would be used by Global Catalog LDAP over SSL. Now for the port number 88, the protocol changes to TCP/UDP while the target remains the same as domain controllers, and it is used for Kerberos authentication. For Windows management instrumentation, we have the port number 135, and then we have a range of ports starting from 1024 going up to 65,535. For authenticated communication between server and domain controllers, we have the port number 445. For a DNS client, with the target being the DNS server and the protocol being UDP, we have the port number 53. Now again, if we talk about the Windows management instrumentation, for retrieving Exchange server configuration settings, with the target being the Exchange server and the protocol being TCP, we have the port numbers 135, then the range starting from 1024 going up to 65,535. Then we have the port number 5985 and 5986 for Windows remote management or PowerShell connections. And if you're using HTTP, then the port is specific to 5985. And for PowerShell connections, we have the port number 80 and the port number 443. After that, we have the Active Directory Domain Controller Communication Ports list. So as you can see on the screen that port number 135 is used for remote procedural call, while 137 is used for NetBIOS name service. The 138 is used for NetBIOS datagram service, while 139 is used for NetBIOS session service. We already know what the port number 389 does, it's for LDAP, but if the LDAP is done over SSL, then the port number 636 is utilized. And again, we have mentioned the ports 445 for SMB, NetLogon and SAMR. Port 1512 is used for Windows resolution, and port number 42 is used for Win's replication. Other than these ports, you can set the protocol to DCP dynamic that would be used for RPC, DCOM, and even for NetLogon-R. Similarly, we have some ports specific to Active Directory replication ports. Again, 135 for remote procedure call, 389 for LDAP, 636 for LDAP over SSL. The change comes when we talk about the global catalog of LDAP. The port number is 3268 and 3269 if you want the global catalog to be done by LDAP over SSL. 53 is for DNS client, 88 for Kerberos, and 444 for SMBs. And then we have the ephemeral ports. So if you're running operating system Windows 2003 and the newer version, then for TCP and UDP you have the port numbers from 1024 to 5000, which are used for ephemeral dynamic service response. And if you're using Windows 2008 and newer, then the ports number change from 49152 to 65535. And then you can already see for TCP dynamic ephemeral you have the RPC, DCOM, EPM and so much more, and for the UDP dynamic ephemeral we have the DCOM, RPC and EPM. And last but not the least, we have the port requirements for RODC, which stands for Read Only Domain Controllers. So as you can see that we have the traffic and the type of traffic. So UDP 53 is used for DNS and TCP 53 is also used for DNS. TCP 135 can be used for RPC and EPM. And we already know that TCP 389 is used for LDAP. And if you want to set TCP and UDP dynamic, then we have the ports from 1025 to 5000, and then we have a different range starting from 49152 to 65535. Anyways, this was the complete list of Active Directory ports and their purpose. So if you still want to learn more about these ports and what they do, then you can simply check out the blog linked in the description box. And if you have learned anything new with this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.